And joining me now from Jerusalem is also award-winning documentary filmmaker and CEO of the Jewish News Syndicate, Alex Traiman. Alex, thank you so much for joining us today. I got to ask you, are you surprised at the disagreement over this civilian female Israeli hostage? I mean, why do you think Hamas didn't release her on Saturday? What's the hiccup?
Yes, Laura, thank you. I think that Israel was prepared for any kind of misinformation, psychological warfare that Hamas could play here. And in addition to releasing soldiers before releasing the civilian, Arbel Yehud, that was scheduled to be released on Saturday, they also haven't provided information on the 26 remaining hostages. And Israel at this point doesn't know how many of those 26 are even alive, another violation of the deal that Israel's reporting.
So I'm wondering, do you think that this dispute will completely derail the ceasefire, or are these setbacks a part of the process? Because we were warned that this could happen, and here we are.
I think this is part of the process. Israel did come to expect this. As far as Israel's concerned, the Hamas's agreement really isn't worth the paper it's printed on until the hostages are back home. Israel and the international community are certain that they will approve and implement the parts of the deal that they are supposed to implement. But Hamas has used the hostages as part of their psychological warfare game against the state of Israel from the beginning. This is the reason why they took them.
You know, President Trump has unveiled this ambitious plan for rebuilding Gaza. He unveiled this on Saturday. A lot of people taking a look at this, saying more than 1 million Palestinians could relocate from Gaza to Egypt and Jordan. So when you take a look at that as a whole, is this plan even feasible?
Well, this is one of the only war situations in the entire world where the residents of the war zone are not being afforded the opportunity to leave if they want to. They're trapped inside the Gaza Strip. Remember when Russia invaded Ukraine, the first question was who's going to take Ukrainian refugees? Even Israel took 35,000 Ukrainian refugees. Here, every single last Gazan has been trapped inside the Strip. Many of them no longer have homes. Even if their homes would be rebuilt, it would probably take years. And so President Trump, I think rightly, looking to neighboring countries in the region and even some beyond. There was just a report that maybe Indonesia was considering taking in Gazan refugees. But Gazans, if they want to leave the war zone, they should be afforded to do so.
You know, another interesting thing that we're watching is that Trump also says that he's going to lift the Biden administration's hold on 2,000-pound bombs for Israel. Let's take a look. I want to get your reaction on the other side.
We released them. Yeah. We released them today, and they'll have them, and they paid for them, and, you know, they've been waiting for them for a long time. They've been in storage.
Thank you, President Trump, for keeping your promise to give Israel the tools it needs to defend itself, to confront our common enemies, and to secure a future of peace and prosperity.
Yeah, we're talking about big bombs here. So why does Israel need such massive munitions if there's this ceasefire in place, right? Could it destabilize the peace deal, or is it just something that they need to have on their own?
Well, first of all, you know, Israel's used a lot of its munitions during this war and certainly needs to replenish its storage, and cannot be in a vulnerable position where it doesn't have the weapons that it needs to fight a war. It's surrounded by countries that want to attack it. Israel's been attacked by 7 different countries since this war started. Gaza is just one of the many fronts here. And there's also the possibility that this war could have ended a lot faster if the Biden administration had not slow-walked weapons to Israel, had not withheld the 2,000-pound bombs, had not put up red lights in front of Israel. So this is an important move for Israel. Israel was counting on this from the Trump administration. And I actually think that some of the pressure that the Trump administration placed on Israel with regard to the release of these weapons may have been a contributing factor in Israel's agreeing to a hostage deal that by many accounts does not look very favorable, with the release of over 1,900 terrorists, including 700 from Israeli jails.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. You are an award-winning documentary filmmaker and CEO of the Jewish News Syndicate. Alex Traiman, follow his work. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you.
Laura, thanks for having me.